Hello everyone, and welcome to this next video. Um, so in this video I'm going to be going over a lot of the information, the images and new features that have been announced for FS25. You know, the things that I have looked at, and actually it's got me a bit more excited for the game. In the background, you can see footage of maize silage that we were doing this week on the server, bringing or cutting maize, bringing it into the BGA, and yeah, so I'll give you something to look at. As I go through these, I will be putting images up on the screen for you guys, so you can have a visual of what I'm actually talking about. I'm going to try and rattle these off as quickly as I can, and at the end I want to go through some of the comments on the last video, because I was very surprised by how much you guys actually, you know, how many people actually viewed the video and how many people actually commented. I did not, I did not expect that whatsoever. So let's go straight into it. Right. So beginning with the graphics. So that was one of the first things that we saw when Giant started coming out with the first images and gameplay, and since then the god rays and the fog that they have continually shown off and shoved down our throat, it almost feels like. There is so much. You look at any photo and video, it is there, it is present. So they are, I think they're welcome additions. I think it really does bring the graphics to par with you know, modern games and what you expect. I'm hoping, and I have got a little bit of information thanks to Derp, who forwarded some questions that some fellow modders raised, and from what Giants replied, fog is something that can be controlled in the environment XML, so mappers, modders will be able to fine-tune the amount of fog that they want on their map, which I think is a welcome addition and something that needed to be definitely something that can be controlled, because a lot of people don't want that sort of fog just shoved down their throat that it seems like what Giants have done since announcing it. Moving on to the weather, and something that has definitely had a lot of upgrades is the rain. So now we have the rain on the windows, on the road, on the ground, on vehicles, and I'm quite interested to see if maybe like puddles form in like fields and stuff. That'd be quite cool. Flooded fields, and we saw in one of the videos that they've added a twister into the game, which is quite interesting. So, you know, a couple of the things we saw were damaged trees and, more importantly, damaged crops, which piqued my interest quite a lot. Not because I want a twister in the game, but damaged crops, I don't know whether this is something that Giants have actually built on in the game that they haven't quite released yet or what, but the damaged crops could open up a lot of different windows, and if they haven't added it to the game, I hope that modders do you know, build a system where maybe like crops and how they get damaged, maybe that could be linked to something like yield, because at the minute you grow any crop, barley, wheat, whatever, and it all looks the same. It doesn't matter if you have all the bonuses, you lime your fields, you roll it, you get 100% fertilizer, all of that stuff. It looks exactly the same if you don't do any of that. You know, it's just the yield. A yield is a number in the game at the minute. Whereas if you have damaged crops in the game, could that mean that we have, you know, like if you have a a good yielding crop. It looks more dense. It looks healthy. Whereas if you haven't, you know, tended to your crops, haven't looked after them, maybe, you know, that whole damaged crop system might, you know, you can actually see that, that field is going to not yield very well. You can just see it by driving past it. That'd be quite interesting. I would, you know, if Giants haven't already thought of that and included it in the game, maybe it's something that modders can do. But yeah, so that really interested me. And okay, so the next thing is vehicle lighting. So the reason I'm quite excited for this is the game shadows in Farming Sim at the minute. In some, you could say there are a lot, a bit like pixelated, if you know what I mean. I know it's hard to see in the gameplay you're currently looking at, but if you look in certain places, you can see shadows bleeding through models, and especially rims. You get a lot of light bleed through the edges and stuff like that. So Giants have said that they've worked on the game shadows, and actually I think that they've done quite a good job of it. So that's been something that has bugged me for quite a long time, is the shadows in the game. But what I'm going to put up a screenshot which I actually put on Instagram this week, which is me harvesting at night. Now I am using a mod called Real Light Shadows, which was released in the last couple of weeks on Mod Hub for FS25, and it does exactly what Giants have added into the FS25, with where lights emit shadows, which, boy oh boy, I think will make, as included with the fog, I think will make nighttime a lot more immersive, and I'm really excited to experience that. I'm excited to, especially like with what we're doing, well, what we've done this week, where there's a few guys doing maize. I'm just picturing like pulling into a field at nighttime where there's a bit of fog in the air, and you could just see like a forager or tractors in the distance, you know, working in the fog. I think that's going to look so cool. I'm so looking forward to experiencing that. So next, optimization. My last video was a highlights that quite drastically about how poorly Farming Simulator is optimized. A lot of the time in that video I was getting 30 FPS, and I run an i9 900K Intel processor with a RTX 3090, getting 30 FPS in Farming Sim. So I think that just says it all. In the footage you're looking at, I have played around with game settings, lowered my settings, and it has brought me probably 20 FPS back to my game. Now that can all be, you know, a lot of people might say, you know, it's all down to mods and maps and stuff, which, yeah, it is, but Farming Sim is probably the worst running game that I've ever played. And if you go to any modern, you know, game, no matter what it is, you'll get more than 30 FPS. So yeah, so I'm hoping that the changes they have made to optimization is, you know, good ones. So next, I want to talk about something that was asked for and has been spoken about for the last, I don't even know how many years, as long as I can remember, which is terrain deforming, tire tracks, you know, which I think it's I'm welcoming it into the game, but the way that Giants have gone about adding it in is such a Giants you know, like stamp on it, where it's come, you know, they have said that it is something like the dirt tire tracks that's currently in the game, where they do disappear over time, which I don't know how I feel about that. I feel that if you put tire tracks in, they don't just magically disappear. So yeah, I'm happy that they're in. But I think that Giants could have implemented it a lot better. So yeah, so and the other thing is water reacting to like wheels and stuff like that, which is quite cool. But personally, I don't see that, you know, really being something that excites me. I mean, I don't even remember the last time that I drove through a water source that, you know, that would that effect would really happen, you know. So yeah, I mean, it's a welcome feature. Definitely something that they had to add with rice being in the game, and having fields flooded. Definitely something that that, you know, they had to add, because their old system would would look crazy. So yeah, so on to the new crops. So we have seen peas, spinach, and green beans. I know that a lot of people will be very happy with peas. That's something that is grown a lot in the UK, and something that you know, people have asked for. Spinach, not so much. I'm sure there'll be a lot of people that are excited for that, and the same as green beans. But personally, not crops that I'm gonna, you know, play with. And baby animals is an interesting one. They show it off as if it was a new system in the game, but I'm pretty sure that you can buy baby animals currently at, I think, 0 months old in FS22, and they show up as baby animals. So I don't know whether they were, you know, they've reworked the system maybe, or, you know, I haven't really played with it enough in Farming Sim 22 to actually know the ins and outs of, you know, what they actually show us in the gameplay footage. But yeah, it'd be exciting to, you know, have a look, see what they've done with that system. And now on to the new brands. I'm going to focus on two, which I was most excited to see. First one being Merlot, and the second one being AgriFac. So, both brands, I believe, are great additions, because there's a few categories in Farming Sim, different, you know, vehicles or tools that really are lacking. I think a lot will say that won't agree with me here, but definitely teleporters I think are lacking. In Farming Sim 22, I've used 2 different teleporters, that being the JCB and the Manitou. I've not touched any of the others. So Merlot is just another great addition, something different to use from time to time. And the second category that I think has been neglected is self-propelled sprayers. Mainly like Euro spec self-propelled. The biggest sprayers are in FS22 are actually, you know, more focused on the sort of American market. So AgriFac is definitely a welcome brand that I know a lot of people will be pleased about. And yeah, I'm excited to see what else they have to announce. One thing I'm a bit concerned about is if you go onto the FarmSim website and you take a look at the JCB category, they have announced the 435S loading shovel, but that's all they have, and it doesn't show any coming soon sort of logo. So I hope that they haven't removed, you know, like the 220 fast track or the 330 or whatever. You know, I think that they are you know, I think nearly every image I see in Farming Sim 22, someone's using a JCB tractor, so I think that they'll be missed if they are not in the game. And the last thing I want to talk about is the Asian map. Now, it's not a map I'm going to play, but I have to say I was very impressed with the just you know, the visuals of it. I think it's probably the largest town or village, whatever, that Giants have put into a map, and it looked quite well built up, you know. And I think that Giants definitely have stepped up their game. Nowhere near what modders are capable, you know, have been giving us for years, but I think they are getting somewhere with maps. And yeah, no, I was just quite impressed by it. There has been a few images of like the US map that I've seen and I've really quite liked. I'll put a few of them on screen now. But yeah, I was quite impressed by that. So yeah, so those are a few of the things that I am most excited about. I haven't covered the new AI workers or the GPS system, just because I don't think we have seen enough information or gameplay of it. There's a lot of speculation about mappers having to do like courses and stuff like that for the AI workers, and we just haven't got the information quite yet to actually get the full picture of how that's going to work. So yeah, so now I want to go through a couple of comments that I got on the last video, as we almost get taken out by this car. So yeah, so first off, thank you to everyone for the support on the last video. I was not expecting that sort of feedback, and I was quite surprised by the amount of actually new subscribers we got from that video. So welcome to any of you guys, especially if you're returning. So yeah, so let's go through a couple of them. So the first one I see is the fact that this is actually a recommended video, which I was not expecting. I think on like in the first 24 hours, I think the video got like 400 views. I woke up in the morning and didn't even pay attention to the fact that it had shot up like 2,000 views overnight, and it was crazy. I was not expecting that. So the fact that it got a recommended vid, you know, I wasn't expecting that. But yeah, and there's a lot of people saying that, you know, you're glad to see me back and stuff like that. A few of you said, you know, series that you've watched in the past, the likes of like Chellington, I'm seeing, Colborough, stuff like that. The Chellington series, it isn't deleted. It is. I still have it on the channel. It's just set to private because it makes me cringe going back and listening to a lot of those old videos, if I'm being honest. So yeah, so that is why that was not. You can't find that on the channel anymore. Same with the Colborough. The reason why I kept that up is that is the series that really grew my channel. Back in the day when I was making that series, that was a wild time. A lot of stuff has changed since then. So let's have a look. What shaders am I using? I'm not actually using shaders. These are all in-game sort of lighting. So yeah, I don't use shaders. People saying about PX farms. So yeah, PX farms. I've learned quite a lot about arable farming just watching their videos. They're very, very interesting. So yeah. Someone's been watching since 2013. That is that is a long time. 9 years and you're back. Yeah. Yeah, so I also want feedback on what sort of videos you guys want to see. I would quite like to go over the the fact sheets that get released on Fridays. I think, you know, there's been a few now, and you know, it'd be quite a nice, you know, thing to go over them. So I might start doing that. I've set I want to create 2 videos a week, and you know, have it sort of like a Friday or a Saturday release video, and something in the middle of the week like a Tuesday, Wednesday. So I'm hoping and aiming for that. We'll see how it goes. So yeah, so that's pretty much it. Last comment, which is what map. I said it multiple times in the video, but the map that I'm playing in this video as well is the Vintage Oaks map, made by Farms in Briscoe, which is a quality map. I highly recommend it. So yeah, so I think that will do us. Yeah, I'm unsure what we will cover in the next video, but like I say, give me some suggestions of stuff you guys want to see. I want to create content that you guys want to watch, you know. And I think having a different sort of topic each week will be each video will be something that will I want to create. So yeah, so give me some feedback on that, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.